Hello guys, I'm Charlie Austen for New York Move Buff, and I'm here to do my spoiler review on Endgame. Avengers Endgame is finally out, nationwide, worldwide, and we just have so much to talk about. I'm just so excited to be sharing my views, my opinions on this movie. But first of all, before starting to talk this amazing art piece, let's roll the intro. Okay guys, before jumping right onto this review, please subscribe to the channel, give me this help, reach for the notification bell, hit the like button so then I can keep creating this content on a weekly basis, okay? And here we are to talk about the new Russell Brothers movie, the 22nd movie of Marvel and its cinematic universe, Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, please just skip this video, go to my channel page, and then you can see there the spoiler-free review of Avengers Endgame. Now, if you have watched it already, so please stay with me because I'm going to discuss some of the things that I love the most, that it's really amazing. Okay, so once more, this is your last call to quit this video if you haven't watched Avengers Endgame yet. So because we're going to talk about spoilers, okay? Okay, so here we go. Okay, so Avengers Endgame. Oh my goodness, we really came to an end and a halt as well, because according to Marvel, although they are already playing movies for after Endgame, we have even Far From Home, the next Spider-Man movie, so they are taking a break. Basically, very the same thing that Disney is going to do with Star Wars after Episode 9. They're saying that they're going into a halt. I don't know how long is it going to take, but the same probably is going to play out here with Marvel movies. So let's talk about the spoilers. So let's take out of the way the most shocking things, and I want to talk about the deaths. And we have two deaths of main characters, and one is implied. One is implied in the sense is not that it happened, we just didn't see it on screen, but you understand that it is not gonna take much long, you know? But the very action that plays out in that scene that we discovered that character, I'm still talking as if it was a spoiler-free review. So here I'm talking actually about Captain America, because he's all old, he has become an old man. He has lived his time with Peggy and with Miss Carter. They probably became Mrs. Mrs. Rogers, I don't know. So he could have come earlier. I think that he chose the right moment. So he's at the end of his life. I don't know. I got a feeling in that moment that he was just there because Peggy passed away first than him. And now he was lonely. But he lived his life by her side. And now he feels, oh no, at that moment I'll go there and I'll hand my shield to I forgot his name because I'm so terrible with names. It's not Hawkeye. To the Falcon, and that's basically it. So I'm saying that his death is implied because he's already really old. And he has already lived everything that he wanted for himself as a human being, as a man, as a person. So I think that he really I think that he really thought in his mind, in the moment that I decide to go after them and to hand over not only like symbolically my cape, like that it is his shield, to Falcon. It's because I feel that I'm really at the end of the line here. It's not gonna take much longer, and I'll rest peacefully and that kind of stuff. So I think that in this sense it was implied, and also because Chris Evans is retiring from the franchise, and that was the way that they found to do this. So okay, we talk about one of the deaths here. The deaths, at least on screen, I would say, screenplay telling, in the sense that we won't be seeing Captain America in its former shape, in its original shape, as Chris Evans, really impersonating all the values of Captain America. By the way, he had left the America side of being captain in Civil War, because he started wearing all black and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. And now, like, his cape has been symbolically passed over to Falcon, that is a black American. So I think that it's really nice, this, because we are in a time in history that we have to discuss the place of America in the world. Like, there are some values that are outdated, there are some other values that were lost, and there are some new values that are being prevented to become part of this amazing nation. So I think that having a black Captain America, taken over our original Captain America, that maybe represented good stuff from the past of this nation, but also things that he himself noticed that were not worthy of fighting for, I think that is a right move that Marvel is doing here, right movie. It also would be very nice to have a solo movie after Endgame of Captain America being Captain America being played by Falcon. Okay, so this is one of the things, and I think that here it was a really good thing for Evans, like not for Evans, for Steve Rogers, because he started off this whole saga so many years ago, being the disruptive voice. You know what I mean? Like, how could I say that? Like, he was the one, he put himself out there. He was the one that offered himself, I want to be part of this project. And like, he was very, he was very forward about what he wanted. And now we see the flip side of the coin. He's really being that guy, enjoying a family and having everything that I don't know, the average American man would like to accomplish, of having his life a great love, that great dance that in the first Captain America, by the end, when like he's flying over Antarctica, and so he says to Peggy, we're gonna have to postpone this dance to another time, and finally we get this dance here in Endgame. So it's very interesting, this character's arc, that is the reverse of Stark, so of Tony Stark. So Tony Stark, he doesn't start off as someone that he really puts himself out there, in the sense like he wanted to become the Iron Man. And he finishes like what I'm trying to say. I think that I found better words now. When we talk about Captain America, he really did a sacrifice, and then he became Captain America, and now he's finding some solace, some closure, some warmth. And while our other character, that was the one that introduced us to the whole Marvel cinematic universe, that is Tony Stark, he didn't start off as doing a sacrifice, but he ended up, so he had everything already. He was rich, and throughout the years he developed like this very strong and amazing and beautiful relationship with Pepper Potts, and so he had a son, and he had a daughter, and now he ended his saga, his arc, his character's arc with a sacrifice. So a reverse pose of one another, Captain America and Tony Stark, and I really appreciated that. And as you know, Tony Stark gives his life for the benefit in behalf of the whole universe. It's such a beautiful scene, and I loved when he said, "I am Iron Man." That was freaking awesome. So here we talk about one is a symbolical death, in a way of saying that incarnation of Captain America is over, and then we have a real death. It's very interesting because in his funeral we see his son. I don't know if you remember from the third Iron Man movie. So we see his son like paying homage to him. So he's there. It can be seen just as something as like that Marvel really paid attention to the details. So we know that this character was out there. We introduced him in the third Iron Man. Let's put him here because it would be very odd if Tony Stark's son, you know, although we never mention him again, wouldn't be at his funeral. But I think that there might be more reasons for that. So keep that face in mind. We might be using, you know, Tony Stark's son later down the road for the next 10 years of Marvel. So I don't know, but he was there. So Tony Stark leaves this world, rests in peace, dies as a hero, leaving 2 children behind. So I really noticed that. So something else was Black Widow. So, and this is the part. I love Black Widow, and I love how Scarlett Johansson developed, you know, the playing of this character. I love, like, she's so, in the first act of the movie, she's so emotional. She's so, you see, she has been one of the most affected ones emotionally, internally. And she's internalizing it, you know? And you see on her eyes, like her teary eyes, her very saddened kind of a face. And so I really wanted to care about her death in the moment that I would see it, as I saw it. But I couldn't care. I couldn't care less. And that really betrayed me. I betrayed myself, and I'll tell you why. Because the way that they developed that, I don't know why. I think that they thought that was a great idea. That whole plot that they copy-paste from, basically, they copy-paste from Infinity War. That was Gamora and her relationship with her dad, Thanos. And the thing is, up to Infinity War, I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, and please guys, correct me. Up to that point, at least when it comes to the movies, I'm not talking about the comics. The only thing that at least was very perceptible and very clear to me that Marvel wanted us to know about that type of relationship, that was a very troubled relationship. When it comes not only to Thanos, but also to Thanos towards like his 2 daughters and between the daughters themselves. It was a very troubled, it was not love in paradise. So that was the thing. And they have never, up to Infinity War, at least as I can recall of now, hinted that Gamora and Thanos got a very close relationship, a loving relationship, that kind of a thing. Or that at least Thanos thought of her as really someone that he loved the most in the entire universe. We know that she was his favorite protege. There's no doubt about that. But that thing that they tried to develop in the first act of Infinity War, so then we would understand why he would sacrifice her to get the Soul Stone, I think that was so forced. So now, you know, at the last call, we have to develop this relationship. We have to show this backstory, so it's gonna be more easy for our audience eat that up in the moment that we kill Gamora. So when Gamora was killed in the first movie, I didn't feel the emotion because that development between their relationship was so soon, was just so fresh. I even didn't have the time to process it yet, and then they come and just for the sake of having a more embased kind of death, they go and kill her. So it really didn't work for me. And here they did the same. I know that Hawkeye and Black Widow, they have been partners in the past, and they were also partners as part of the Avengers initiative. I'm not saying that, but it has been a long time since that last time in one of the movies they hinted at that chemistry. And I'm not talking about romantic, but that kind of love chemistry between them. Like love as humans, as partners, as friends, you know. And they trying to revive that kind of thing in this movie. And I think that it was very, I don't know if it was like rushed up. I don't know. It felt weird. I understood. I remember that they served together and they had a long history going way back. I'm not complaining about that. But reviving that kind of a thing now, just minutes before killing her. I don't know who thought that it would produce the powerful trigger necessary to make us cry. So actually, I think that it was counterintuitive, because in the moment that it happened, these whole reasons that were resurfacing, because we have worked together, because of this and that. So it kind of threw me off of the moment, and then I couldn't care for all I knew about Black Widow, because that thing turned me off. You know what I mean? That thing took over me, and I couldn't, focus. Despite of her past, it would be very hurtful to see Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow die in front of me with such untimely death. So I don't know. I think that both movies, this way that they chose to justify in a way why someone would love the other so much, because they have a history that goes way back, it didn't really work out for me. I don't know. Tell me what you think, guys. Now, talking about some catchphrases that we have been lingering for them for such a long time. Every single time that we thought that it would come out of for example, from Cap's mouth, it wouldn't, and then we were tricked, like the end of the second Avengers, I think, Age of Ultron. So Cap's there giving that speech, and you think that his gun is illegal, and then he doesn't say it. So here we had, finally, Avengers Assemble! It was amazing. And we also had Tony Stark saying, I am amazing. So it was such a reward. It was so rewarding. I was so it's really good. And I also enjoy Thor, the drinkaholic kind of a person, kind of a type. It was fun as well. And how he was processing all that guilt, all that hurt, all that feeling of loss by gaining some pounds, by going overweight. So it was really nice. And Hulk, oh my goodness, Hulk, finally I think that they grasped how to portray Hulk and Bruce Banner as a same thing, not robbing too much spotlight from the other side of the same character. I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but the Hulk scenes are the bestest, some of the bestest ones in this movie. And the most impressive thing I think about Endgame is that a movie of such a scope and length and commitment and meaning, sometimes it would take 10 years. People that went to this kind of a movie, they might take up to 10 years, just in this movie, in this kind of a movie, to think and to mature things. And they just did the first Avengers Infinity War and this one, they just shot both back to back. you know. So in like, I don't know, in 2-3 years. So the aesthetics here, the way how the story is so well construed and everything works so well to being done in such a small amount of time and with such ingenuity and with such powerfulness and with such satisfying delivery is really worthy of a round of applause. So I was really impacted. It was really good. They really delivered what they promised. So I don't know. I wanted to comment more about other stuff, but I think that these are the most relevant ones, at least for me, for a spoiler reveal. That these are the things that we really care about, and of course, everybody comes back at the end of the final epic, amazing battle. So I even saw someone saying that battle at the airport at Civil War was like Endgame in a low budget. And Endgame, the final battle, is with a very good budget, an amazing budget. So you can see, because they even shot the same way the moment that both sides are running towards the other. So you see, you know, the contrast, the stark contrast of scope and money and engagement and storytelling is fantastic. So I really love this movie. So these were my comments, part of my spoiler review for Endgame. If you like this material, please hit the notification bell, the like button, subscribe to the channel. And I'm Charlie Austen from New York Movie Buff. Thanks for watching. Bye.